So the Nintendo 3DS. So it's been out for about a week now, and I wanted to play it fully before I got a chance to review it. Still don't think I played it fully though, but I played it enough. So the two colors it's out in now, it has this color right here, which is a really ugly aqua blue. And if you like it, that's, fine, but I didn't. So Nintendo, as usual, releases the two colors I don't want. And I was going to wait, but I decided not to. So I got the lesser of two evils, which was, the other one I think is called Cosmo Black. And that's the one I got. It's just completely black. Because, black is easier to hide than blue. That blue there's no hiding it. There's supposed to be a red one too, but I guess Nintendo figured that they're going to be jerks about it and they're not going to release it, because the red one was the one I really wanted and was really looking forward to. But as usual, they decided that they shouldn't release it in America until later on. I'm sure it's in Japan though, so. But we're not going to rant on Japan, feel awful about what's going on over there, and I send my regards. They're in my prayers. Oh, alright. So, I think that the biggest thing that everyone would wonder about the 3DS is the 3D effect. And unfortunately, that's the hardest thing to review. Because the 3D effect is what everyone wants the 3DS for, but at the same time, you have to experience it for yourself, because on camera it won't show up, so you gotta put it to 2D mode when you're showing off the games. It's really hard to explain. No, you do not need 3D glasses, however, it's not that kind of 3D. Sort of. Well, actually, I guess it kind of is, but it's not as... How can I put it? Alright, I'll just go into... I got two games with it, and I'll explain the 3D effect on one of my games. Hey, look at that. They're showing off the red 3DS again. Jerks. Jerkwads. Anyway, so yeah, I got Nintendogs plus Cats, the Golden Retriever version, so yeah, the one that has the beagle on it. That's ironic, and I would have gotten the red 3DS, so this could have possibly been a screenshot of mine if they had released the red one, but anyway. Take Nintendogs plus Cats. Okay, my beagle, when I got him, and I came up to me, and I was petting him, right? And if you have a dog, you know how they like to jump on you sometimes. Well, he jumped up, and his paws were, I guess, were on the screen, and so was his snout. His paws and his mouth were actually coming off the screen. And of course, I guess that goes along with being 3D and all, but it was an amazing effect. Like, the problem is you have to hold it directly in front of you, about 10 to 14 inches away, and if you don't do exactly that, it'll mess up the 3D and it'll mess up the effect. But if you hold it exactly the way that it tells you to, then the 3D is just very smooth, very perfect. And you can see from this, that little green light in the corner of the 3DS, you can turn the 3D up and down, and you can turn it completely off, because, well, I guess Nintendogs is a game that's supposed to be for ages 6 and up, and the 3DS is for ages 7 and up. Yeah. And even on the front of the box for Nintendogs, it says this game can be played in 2D and 3D. So the games I have so far, which is Nintendogs plus Cats and The Sims 3, neither one of them require the 3D effect, but, it gives it the full effect. You don't have to use the 3D if you don't want to. But you can tone down the 3D, and when you tone up the 3D, it just gives it more depth. And when you tone it down, well, if you've ever played a regular DS, it's just like that. But the more you turn the little knob up, the more 3D it will be in. There is a lot of software already included on the 3DS when you first get it. As of right now, I believe that the internet browser has to still be installed through a further update. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it today, but you know, within due time, and you'll get the internet browser. I still don't know how to get to the 3DS shop. I think that'll probably be in a later update. A lot of the stuff is going to be enabled later on. However, right now I can tell you what is on there. You have an activity log, which tells you about like how much you play every game on there, which includes even the little, you know, obviously if you play DS or Wii, there's a settings section where you can set up all your settings. It considers the settings a game, and it tells you how long you played that. No joke. And it is kind of ridiculous, but it's alright. It'll, you know, tell you how long you've played every game, every piece of software, sorry, and it'll, yeah, but anyway, going on to the next thing, there's this pedometer in there, and when you put it in sleep mode, and you know, carry it, put it in your pocket, put it in your bag, whatever, every time you take 100 steps, it'll give you a coin, and what these coins do can be used to buy things inside games. Like, I'll give you an example. On the Street Pass, Street Pass, you can play this mini game where your Mii gets captured and you have to rescue him using other people's Miis. But if you don't know anybody that has other, don't know anyone else with a 3DS, you can't find any other Miis. Well, you can use these coins to purchase little warriors to go save your Mii. Now, I know it does sound corny, but I mean, think about it. If you're just gonna be walking around anyway. But the problem is, you can take as many steps as you want, but you stop earning coins for the day after 10, and that is kind of stupid, because it's very, very easy to take 1,000 steps. I take many thousands of steps every day. But it is a fun little feature. And you can store up to 300, and they're really easy to burn, that's the thing. Oh, that brings me to the next point. The Miis. There is a Mii channel on it. And what you can do is you create your own little personal Mii, which is your main Mii for the 3DS. You cannot delete him. However, you can edit him as much as you like. I'm pretty sure you can rename him. You know, you can completely refigure him. You just can't delete him. That's all. And then you can, create any other Miis. The customization is slightly better. It's not that much better, but it is. And you can also transfer Miis from your Wii to your 3DS. And going on to the Street Pass, you see the Street Pass is a place where your Miis can meet each other. And your personal Mii will be there, and I'm not even exactly sure how it works, but through the little mini games you can earn little clothing things for your Mii, like you can find a Mario hat that you can give to your Mii. But I think that mostly it's just to play, and like you can find other people's Miis and you can play with them and things like that. It's really fun. There's also the next software is included is very creepy. It's called Face Raiders, and it really creeps me out. I mean, I am serious. This thing is just, you take a picture of your own face, and then your face will become these little enemies that wear these helmets, and you have to shoot balls at them, yellow balls at them, and you have to defeat them, and you have to move your 3DS around the room, and they'll pop out of nowhere, and you have to shoot at them. And I didn't want to take a picture of my own face, so I tried to take a picture of a Spider-Man poster I had, right? And I ended up taking a picture of his shoulder, so I thought a face that was just Spider-Man's shoulder. And then I took a picture of my dog. I do not want to shoot at my own face. That just doesn't sound appealing to me. Maybe it will to you. Whatever floats your boat. But I don't like that idea. But it's a fun game. It gets boring very, very quickly, but it was a good idea to include. I mean, they included a lot of things. And what else is there on it? Alright, the camera. The camera, which I have barely used except for in Nintendogs. You can take, in Nintendogs at least, you can take pictures of games you play. And I've taken pictures of my dog. And in case you're wondering, yes, the pictures do take in 3D. And the camera You can take pictures in 3D with the camera. I haven't done it yet. In fact, I might do it later today. We'll see where things go. But from what I understand, yes, you can take pictures in 3D. And that is a very exciting thing. My pictures come out really well, especially of my dog. Which I have 2 of them now. I just got, I have a beagle named Rover. That was my favorite, first dog. And then I'll explain that later. Yeah, about the games. I'm not going to review the 2 games I got. I'm going to have 2 separate reviews for them. This is just as the 3DS in general, except for obviously when I went over to Nintendogs to explain the 3D feature. There's also a sound thing. I don't really know what that does either, but you gotta check that out for yourself. I might check that out later too. I'm assuming that it's probably something like the DSi one. I'm not really sure though. And another thing I have to go into is the stylus. The stylus is a little bit different than the DS stylus because it's really hard to find. It's right in the back. I didn't think they usually include the stylus inside the DS, but you take it out, it's this little metal thing that's maybe a little bit smaller, around the same size as the regular stylus, and then you can just like extend it, and it smells bad, but other than that, I like it better than the other stylus. And so don't freak out like I did. Well, I started getting really angry because I thought they didn't give me a stylus, but really, I couldn't find it. I actually had to call GameStop and they told me where it was. So, and I think the ESD card is included inside too. Other than that, there aren't that many more features, but the last feature I think I should talk about is augmented reality, which, you see, you get these 6 cards. As you can see, those are the cards included. And I actually haven't tried the main game yet, but supposedly you can put down the card, and with the camera will pick up on the card, and it'll start doing weird things, like blocks will pop out, and you can play games with these cards. What I have done is inside Nintendogs, for the obedience trial, you take a card, you put it on a flat surface, and you point the camera at it, and the dog will appear on it. So these cards are very special. The only flaw I would see with them is the fact that they put Samus on one of the cards. No. But the only flaw I see is what if you lose these cards? Because it's going to be kind of hard. I mean, especially Nintendogs requires these cards, which kind of bothers me because that's one of the hardest things. The obedience, again, I'll go into the review. But they're definitely an interesting feature. I think they're a good idea. You'll have to look into it more when you get it, but these are one of the best things of the system, and yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say about them. I think one of the things they tried to do with it is they tried to make it better than the Wii, and it is by no means better than the Wii. However, it is a very good handheld, and I would definitely recommend it. I don't know if it's exactly worth the $250 price tag, especially considering that they say that most of it is because of the built-in software, and that's not really all that worth it. But it definitely is something you probably want to pick up. I'm glad I got it. I really am. It costs more than the Wii now, and there are no Mario launch titles. That's very depressing for me. Mario Kart comes out in June. Paper Mario, I don't know. There's one coming out, and I'm pretty sure there's something called Super Mario 3DS. I'm sure they'll rename it, but I think that's a Mario platform game. There's the Ocarina of Time remake coming out, Star Fox, Animal Crossing. All of this is coming out, but not until later. As of right now, I definitely recommend Nintendogs as a launch title. That's the only one I would recommend. I think that you'd probably get Street Fighter, maybe, because that's supposed to be the best. In fact, I might even get it. But I would even give this a 10 out of 10. It's Nintendo's best handheld by far.